has been a million years, or I guess you could say a million Wednesdays, since the last one of these streams. I guess in actuality it would just be about exactly a month, I think. Or almost exactly a month. Hang on. Alrighty. It's been, honestly, I think maybe about 3 weeks exactly would be a more accurate number on how long it's been. But either way, welcome back. We are finally back in the thick of it. And this time around, in terms of the music at the very least, we're just going to be listening to this entire album that I've been listening to, by an artist that might be familiar to a very few certain people. Also, with the amount of time has passed, there is quite a lot to dwell on at the moment. And I'll gladly share on whomever may pass by. Here. Although if this ends up being another quiet one, then of course I'm fine with that as well. But main reason out of the way, though, why these have been on hiatus for so long is mainly because of just, well, work, for one, and how much it's been, not the work itself, just other factors related to it have just been making my brain mush lately. It has me questioning some things. You can take that with what you will, or however that saying goes. Also, what the heck are we actually drawing today? We're drawing let's see, 2 characters from an artist I like who goes by the name of Car. Yes, just Car. One that he made a while ago, sometime last year, and then one that he made, like, literally only earlier this week. And also the same character that premiered along with his Patreon page, so take that with what you will. Which honestly, at this point, kind of sounds tempting, in a way. I am happy to say that this time around, at the very least, I have an actual sketch layer ready. Also, of course, because work has been making my brain turn to mush lately. Just art overall, I feel like, has been slowing down, especially this month. So, of course, streams as well would be on a bit of a hiatus too. And if this one does end up being shorter than the others, of course, then Well, not if, but it might. Just saying. Curious if this music is copyrighted or not. I think I read somewhere that it isn't, though. Which means that I need to listen to all of it sometime. Then throw it into as many playlists as I can. Because I am liking what I'm hearing so far. Like with most other of the childhood artists I know, music artists at least, this guy made one popular song that was on a certain platform that I like to be on a lot, and I'm just now getting to listening to the rest of his discography. And like I say, I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. Was also curious about something else that I wanted to bring up too, and that's I wonder how YouTube, or I guess the algorithm more specifically, treated this channel when I stopped doing the art streams for a bit, because I feel like maybe there should probably be some kind of chart somewhere, analysis chart somewhere on the editor app that maybe, I think the other videos got recommended more, the less I did these art streams, but I might need to double check that, which to me is kind of interesting. honestly, let's see. I think the album that we're listening to right now is an hour and a half long. So maybe after one loop of this, I'm gonna be calling it a day. Still, at the end of the day, it's not just the music, but I forgot how much just doing this in general, how therapeutic it is. Maybe it's a reason why my brain has just been mush lately. Because I would really, really like to do stuff like this more often, like I'm doing right now. But after taking a break from those aspirations for a bit, maybe I just kind of, I guess, lost track of myself for a while. Hello. Hello, Glitchy Zora. Good to see you. And thanks for stopping by. Here I thought this might be a relatively quieter stream, but it is good to see that the chat may yet live. It's nice to see you streaming, live stream once again. Thank you. And it is good to be back to be doing this as well. because I was just saying, even if it does end up a bit quieter in here in these streams, this is still just, it's therapeutic nonetheless, and the music definitely helps with that. But speaking of the music, this time we're just listening to an entire album from an artist whose discography I'm only just recently listening to, despite him making a certain song that was popular on a certain platform that I enjoyed when I was younger. Today we're also drawing 2 characters from an artist that I like. An artist that goes by the name Car. Just Car. Or Car and then if you're fancy. Heard of the Stop Killing Games campaign? Yes, I have, indeed. And it's a pretty important one, from what I hear. Also kind of outrageous how it just needs to be done in the first place, to be honest. Because you feel like... Actually, no, not really. I was gonna say, you feel like companies would know better than trying to pull a fast one on its buyers like that, but... nah. Not really. Let's be real here. I mean, the capitalists have been acting this way since as long as I can remember, at least. And at least double my lifespan before that as well. But yes, I have heard of it, and I know what it's about too. just remembered another thing that I want to bring up as well sometime. That's the idea of, I feel like I've brought this up before, but perhaps the idea of making just a whole other new channel for the things that I want to do on YouTube. And then keeping this channel up as either an archive or maybe just a meme reserve, I guess you could say. Because there are quite a few memes on this channel. And I was thinking of maybe making a poll for that sometime. Also, it's neat to see these #1 chatter badges, YouTube chats now. Because first time I noticed it was actually in someone else's stream. Well, of course, they weren't a thing when I was still regularly streaming. So, might make keeping track of people easier, but we'll see. Okay, I will get back to this later. But in the meantime, this character still has a bunch of cleaning up to do, I think. Well, let's see if we can do any of that as we're doing the lighting. What could go wrong? probably gonna save parts of this drawing for another time. So for now, I'll just do what I can. You know what I wish? That's quite the broad question. How many chances am I gonna get? So Nintendo Switch had more themes. I'm guessing you mean homepage themes, more than just light and dark themes. I'm guessing like as many as a Roku TV has. Or I guess like interchangeable ones, like you can change a desktop wallpaper on a computer. There was only 2 themes. I imagine the dark theme and the light theme. I'm familiar. I also have a Nintendo Switch myself. OLED model specifically. I haven't thought about getting the second one. Want to get another Nintendo product again just for the themes. I'm guessing not just for the themes, right? Just for the homepage themes. And as for me, unless Nintendo pulls out something completely out of this world, off the walls, amazing, that convinces me to get a Nintendo Switch 2. Kinda like that new FromSoft game that they're making that I actually forgot the name of. Maybe something else like that would convince me to get it. Not just that, but because Nintendo, I know what you mean. I know precisely what you mean. Because, yeah, unfortunately Nintendo is, it's another corporation at the end of the day. Which is why, as much as I do like the Switch that I have, I do also want to get a Steam Deck eventually as well. And I need to resist the urge to re-buy games that I already have on Steam on the Switch, with some exceptions. I've already bought, I bought a few of the, I bought the entire Reigns collection, which is an indie game series that I like, and also the XCOM 2 collection as well, because it was only 13 bucks. So I figured why not just go for it. And hey, I'm able to scratch that turn-based combat itch while I'm away now, which is nice. If only I lived in a part of the world where I wasn't driving all the time. I might be able to use it more though. You have a Steam Deck? Lucky. And you love it? I don't doubt it. Does seem like a pretty neat piece of hardware. Since we're on the topic of games, I might as well just ask, what's your favorite game? I can name my top 5 favorite games off the top of my head. Oh yeah, right. Because that's right, we do have each other added on Discord. Cult of the Lamb. I can say that I've only seen some gameplay of that game, and I will say it being like kind of a roguelike hack and slash is kind of the last thing I expected for it, with dodge rolls and everything. But still, looks pretty fun from what I've seen. Also, it's published by Devolver, which are fun people. Devolver is actually the publisher of a series that I brought up a few minutes ago, which is Reigns. And they also published a few more games that I like as well. Okay, I need to work on this hand sometime. As for my favorite games, though, number 1 of all time would have to be Terraria. Still after, I think it's been exactly 10 years now since I started playing it. I wasn't, with that said, I wasn't super stoked, I guess you could say, about the most recent crossover update, because I'm just kind of indifferent about crossovers in general. I am looking forward to most of what's going to be in the actual For Reals update. Steam Decks can be used for things like outside of games. Indeed they can, because they're literally just handheld computers that run Linux. Which I completely forgot to mention. That thing I said about that in that one post I made earlier about me trying to install Linux on my computer. Yeah, so that was a complete lie. I haven't done it yet. Right now, it's just a matter of trying to move everything from my computer currently back onto it after the reinstallation process, which will take a while. Indeed, it is Linux. Pros of Linux are you get to control what's on your computer. The cons of Linux are you get to control what's on your computer. So, you know, with great power and all that. Yep. Of course, that's a very big given. That just reoccurred to me as well, in regards to these art streams too, is that I kind of forgot how just seamlessly and quickly I managed to just breeze through a bunch of, or getting a bunch of drawings done at once. Because when I did stop doing these for a bit, I did notice, just the speed at which I was drawing start to stagnate a bit. I have this thing called Kodai on this thing, and it's like meant for TVs because it's a media center. So I imagine you stream things on it. You stream things on your Steam Deck as well. I mean, technically you can just do that by activating the desktop mode and then going to the Netflix website or something like that, I think. But still, I imagine with a dedicated app it's a lot more seamless. So still pretty neat. hate it when they do that. I haven't used wireless headphones in quite some time. The headphones that I'm wearing right now can technically be used wirelessly, but I always just have them plugged in. It is especially irritating for wireless earbuds though, because the last pair that I had sometimes just didn't really charge when I put them in the case. They were good earbuds though, and I missed them quite a bit. You ever seen that one thing that Microsoft used to bundle with Windows Vista and severed an operating system? Ah, yes. Okay, now I think I remember. It was the Universal Music and MP4 player. MP4 and MP3 player, I believe. I'm pretty sure it does as well. I would know because recently I did take out my Xbox 360 to watch a DVD on it, and that DVD was the original Lilo and Stitch. And yes, I do remember seeing a Windows Media Center pop up when I hit the home button. they paid Microsoft to put with the media set, I certainly don't doubt it. Especially with how quickly Netflix and just streaming in general was growing at the time. Wait a minute. Okay, this is quite the optical illusion that I accidentally created. Yeah, whoops. Gonna have to redo that sometime. But yeah, streaming at the time was definitely a lot more convenient, of course, and still is pretty convenient. Definitely a lot more convenient than going over, bending down to your DVD player, getting the disc out, opening up the tray, taking out whatever was in there, putting the new disc in, and waiting for all the loading screens and the previews and all that. But there was a certain nostalgia to that, if I'm being honest. And I definitely felt that when I rewatched the original Lilo and Stitch on DVD without Blu-ray. Cody was the alternative to when it was Media Center. Coincidentally enough, they came out at the same time. I can't say that I've heard of Cody or Kodai before. Maybe I have, but off the top of my head, at the moment, it doesn't exactly ring a bell. How to use a free and open source media center for Windows and pretty much everything. Okay, I can see why it would be popular then. People who created is KDE. Not exactly familiar with that either. Unfortunately, for the most part, I grew up on Microsoft devices, like most people. Because the other more open source options were not readily available for the masses, I guess you could say. Well, technically they were, but you had to get them yourself. Ow. Available for literally freaking everything. I'm surprised I haven't heard of it before. Maybe I have, I probably just need to look it up again. I might recognize the logo or something of it if I look it up again. I think that's the rest of that entire album, which is one that I'm definitely gonna have to listen to again. Right as we hit the 1 hour mark on the stream. Now, not gonna be wrapping it up anytime soon, but within the next hour or so, definitely. Until then, let's go back to our regularly scheduled chill/relax playlist. There we go, that works. check direct messages. I'll do that right now. Yes. That, honestly, I feel like looks like it would just be a lot of fun. Just sitting back and playing the original Doom on a handheld device. That isn't just a touchscreen, nothing else. Also, I see the Internet Archive in that media center there. Not a bad choice, because there is actually quite a lot of content to be had on the Internet Archive, or the Wayback Machine if you're fancy. As I recently found out when I was looking for the old Acceleracers movies. Hot Wheels Acceleracers, specifically. Having the Internet Archive app at Cody at your disposal, indeed. You never know when you're gonna want to just... When you suddenly remember a really, really old CD of some kind of kids learning game that you remember from a million years ago, and then you try looking it up. Which is the whole phase that I already went through a couple years ago. Games I was looking for specifically were the Jumpstart games. Jumpstart and maybe Reader Rabbit as well. Maybe a few others. Maybe a few other point-and-click adventure games and stuff like that. Those were mostly the fun ones. That reminds me, I'm not sure if I said this before, but... Drum roll for suspense. Actually, that was not on the right layer, but oh well. Did you know that you can download the entire Wikipedia site? I don't doubt it. There are certainly going to be people out there that want to preserve as much information as possible, and more power to them, honestly. Because that stuff's important. You never know when someone might try to pull a whole "there is no war in bossing" say, and then try to change information at will. And it reminds me of the Flashpoint archive as well, where you can just download every single bit of preserved Adobe Flash bit of media, which ends up being like, I think a terabyte and a half total. Okay, well, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not going to be installing the entirety of Wikipedia. Not going to do like Russell did in Half-Life Alyx and download the entire internet before the Combine takes over. Although when I say that out loud, that scenario sounds dangerously close to some certain events. Ongoing. So hey, might not be a bad idea, who knows. Alrighty. Alright, I'm gonna start working on the coloring for this. Coloring and then maybe just a little bit of shading as well. And then from there I'll be calling it a day. Realize that this character technically doesn't have any eye color. So I'm just gonna have to wing it on that front. There is that art project called Print Wikipedia. That's not something that I've heard of before, but I can only imagine what exactly that is. when I said I was gonna need to fix this, and yeah, now's the time. That was my alarm, not anybody else's. Alarm for nothing in particular. That's just kind of one that I forgot to disarm, I guess you could say. Holy moly. Okay, just looked at the actual stream time after a while. And I've gone just a little bit farther than I anticipated, which honestly is what usually happens anyway. So, with that being said, I am going to be wrapping it up here pretty soon. Right. This is actually looking pretty good so far. So much so that I'm actually gonna share a progress report on it, or I actually full on share the entire finished thing. That'll be sometime after the stream ends. So let's see here. Alright, if everything is said and done for the time being, I did want to say it is good to get back into this again. Seriously. I feel like these streams became one of the biggest parts of getting serious about drawing on the digital display tablet. And after not doing it for a while, it well, became evident that drawing started to slow down just a little bit. Now, they were still being completed, of course, just not at the rate at which they were before. Hello. Hello and welcome. You did just come in right as I was about to wrap things up, though. Just saying. But still, thanks for stopping by regardless. So let's see here, though. With everything said and done, though. Spotify needs to update. Even though this is the end of the stream, we must have more decent closing off music. Which I think this is decent enough. So, as for next week, hopefully I will have something new next week, because I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna keep working on this drawing in particular. So I might just save this drawing for next week's stream. That would be the full-on shading and everything. Shading, backgrounds, extra nitty-gritty. All that jazz. So, till then, though. Let's see. There we go. That's how you do that again. So, till then, though, I will see everybody later. Thank you, Glitchy, for stopping by again, and also for Zera, however you say that, for stopping by at the very end as well. See everybody in the next one. Have a very, very good day. Oh, Glitchy, I'm wrapping things up right now. Just as a heads up, as I have said. Okay, but for real though. For real this time. I'll see everybody later. Have a good one.